We're bringing back Hunter x Hunter 1999 today. I know it's been a while, and I'm excited to get back into it. The two things I'm looking forward to most today. I want to see Kurapika versus Majtani, of course. I want to see the character design for Majtani, because I remember he is so unique and cool looking. I want to see the twist and the 1999 animation for Majtani and Kurapika. But more so, if we get to it today in these two episodes, Killua versus Jonas. I want to see that heart in Killua's hand. I want to see how that's done in 1999. It's going to be darker, more gruesome, a little more censored. What's it going to be? I don't know. I don't even want to keep on talking. But what's up, guys? It's Jughead here. Welcome back to our Hunter x Hunter 1999 series. Today, we're going to be watching both episodes 14 and 15. So without any further ado, tune in to my full uncut reaction and stay for my discussion afterwards. Let's go. So, Hunter x Hunter 1999, episode 14, Candles, Policy, Dispute in 3, 2, 1. Let's watch. It's been a while, so why don't we watch a little bit of the recap real quick from the last episodes? I'm not going to complain about watching a few more seconds, a few more minutes of Hunter x Hunter. And if I remember correctly, it is going to be Gon going up next against Sedakon. Okay, it is really loud in my headphones right now. There's Sedakon. Sedakon looks a lot creepier to me in 1999 than he did in 2011. 2011 adaptation, Sedakon kind of almost looks like an alternative pretty boy. Sedakon here looks creepy. The under eye bags, those beady eyes. And that's what's so scary. Even though he doesn't look like a normal person. Yeah, he looks creepy as hell. And then you got Majtani. Look at those gray legs. That's Majtani. That's Majtani. You can see the eyes. So Majtani is gray in the 1999 version. And that has to be Jonas. That won't do me any good. And yeah, why? Because his sentence is so long. More than 100 years in prison. Doesn't do much for Jonas, though, is what he's trying to say. Yeah, you would have been mincemeat. Exactly. Killua knows what's up. Would have gone for your throat so you couldn't say a word. Way to put it into perspective, Killua. Yep. I thought all of that before I quit. Aura? Yeah, that's a whole different kind of like creepy aura atmosphere, dark cloud hanging over that guy. I forget how the candle thing goes. I also like Sedakon's voice here. It's like a subtly raspy, whispery. Two candles. Creepy giggle. Oh yeah, and he gives him the rigged candle. And it's the trick. Obviously you would expect the shorter candle to go out first, but the longer one has a quicker fuse. And then Ron going, I remember. But that's the entire point of the 1999 series. We're appreciating both adaptations. I don't have to worry about the plot or keeping up in that regard. We just get to vibe out and enjoy Hunter x Hunter twice over on my channel. Two choices with very clearly different conditions. It raises suspicions. Start to second guess yourself. Anxiety seeps in. Yeah, Sedakon is quite the creep in this adaptation. I like Sedakon more here. Yeah, enough. You don't need majority rules to pick out which candle you want. Let's get going. We're wasting time here, and time is of the essence. Reverse psychology. Just gotta use those latent. What a creepy alarm sound. What is that from? That feels like such an iconic alarm sound you've heard in like video games or other movies or something. And so it begins. Start. Drop your candle and I also like in this adaptation, this dungeon scene or whatever you want to call this feels a lot more, again, like very creepy and dark and imposing, claustrophobic and stressful. Which again lends to the aesthetic of this adaptation, where in certain environments it is a strong suit for the story. That both were traps. No matter which one you choose, I was going to give you a trick candle either way. Damn. It was all futile. Put it on the ground! I forgot, yeah, he's a serial bomber. Who voices Gon in this adaptation? His voice sounds very familiar to like Naruto or some other late 90s, early 2000s anime that I'm thinking of. And it's only in this frantic yelling that I've really picked up on his voice feeling so familiar to something else. There we go. Winner! Woo! tricked the trickster. More like, now we're tied 1-1. Please, okay, Kurapika Majtani time. Kurapika Majtani time. I'm not forgetting you're here. I want to see you rip a motherfucker's heart out. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Gonna see Kurapika's red eyes. The Phantom Troupe spider tattoo, the fake one. How much of Majtani's face is gonna look similar? Obviously the skin tone is different. Oh! He looks the same. Like a fucking Frankenstein. The choice in 2011 to make his skin tone blue then is a very interesting decision. I really don't prefer one or the other. He looks fucking creepy and gross either way. If anything, in this one, he looks more like a Frankenstein. And Kurapika's not phased whatsoever. Again, doesn't care. And the robe comes off. The garbs come off. Yeah, we mean business now. Where's that tattoo? It's on his back, right? There's the, I see the legs of the tattoo right there. This smart bastard trembles and blah blah blah. Kick his ass. Boom! Dude. I remember that from the 2000. He just smashes his face into the ground. But I think that's after he sees the tattoo. There we go. He sees the tattoo. There we go. There's the Phantom Troupe spider tattoo. Doesn't have a number, and it's blue. The Phantom Troupe. The ones that Marcus are... Oh yeah, I forgot. He has like steel implanted in his body like Wolverine and some cyberpunk biomechanic stuff going on. No, what's the I want to see those red eyes. Though in 2011, this was the first time we see Kurapika's red eyes, right? It was at this moment that we saw. But in 1999, we've already seen it before. We're about to see him. There we go. He looks badass. That looks sick. I think it looks way better than the few times the 1 or 2 times we've seen it prior It was like a different sort of redness in the eyes that I just thought didn't look as... God damn! That's what I'm talking about. And then he starts playing dead. But like I was saying, the 1 or 2 times we saw it previously, it didn't look as good as it looked right there. Just a bright, saturated red, like ruby red like that. You're a fake, phony. I'm showing you mercy now, you phony. Trust Kurapika knows every single thing to know about the Phantom Troupe. Like that. Yep, right there. See? Right here it looks way better. And so it's interesting. So 1999, we've seen it before, Gon saw it before. But in 2011, I'm pretty sure it was either our time and or their all first time seeing those red eyes too. Everybody's schooling Leorio. Now, time to rest. Oh yeah, I definitely know that. York New Arc had me stressed for you. But we don't know if he's dead, and nobody admitted defeat, so somebody has to go out there, and that's going to be Leorio. I like how he's like, I'm surprised to see a member of the Kurta clan here, considering he's the only member of the Kurta clan left, so it should be very surprising. So you gotta get Majtani to admit defeat. To attack an opponent who had already lost the will to fight. Sticking by those principles. So force him to regain consciousness. Hang him over the edge. See how my memory is like a steel trap? I've never thought about killing in terms of being scared or not. Like how Killua looks down on him. You've never killed someone. Scared? Well, Killua just has his hands in his pockets, letting us infer this kid's killed. Which we're about to see, hopefully, in this episode of the next. Without compromising on your principles, though. And Gon will respect that. True. See? Gon understands. Sounds like Leorio, you gotta go out there. You gotta let people choose for themselves. They really got Leorio's personality perfectly down in both adaptations. Nothing different about him across both adaptations. Very consistent. I haven't seen enough of Kurapika to really get that yet either. You know, my complaints about and criticisms about Killua so far. Less so with Gon. Only a couple things that I remark about being maybe some critiques. But Leorio is just spot on. Also, 1999 is way more dialogue heavy, which, you know, I'm not going to complain about. I appreciate hearing and reading dialogue that was either not present in 2011 or is expanded upon, or if it's good writing. I just don't remember this much dialogue and exposition and what would you call that? I don't know what you would call that. Introspection. But let's move on to episode 15. And so, here we are. Hunter x Hunter, 1999, episode 15, Fleeting Life, Majtani. In 3, 2, 1, let's keep watching. I love having found a way to download these episodes. Makes it so much easier to play back and rewind and fast forward and not have any glitches. And I forgot Hisoka had his scene here too, fighting that guy with the spinny blades, and he cuts his head off. This guy, I forgot we got to see some Hisoka. Hell yeah. That was super creepy. I creeped myself out just trying to imitate that. I forgot they had a past. Unless that's unique to this. I don't remember that part. Now, I like how he's this way, we're gonna fight. And Hisoka's just like, okay, no worries. Because, you know, I know I'm gonna kick your ass. So I'm gonna like this. So we're gonna have the two bouncing off subplots. This, and then Hisoka. And hopefully Killua Jonas. But we wouldn't know, because we're wasting time. Time is everything. Yeah, you may not have meant to kill him, but he could be dead anyways, and we don't know for sure, so we're just wasting time. It's literally to his advantage to just be laying there. I'm not an old man, but I'm not a kid either. Yeah, and then let's move on. Check his pulse. I forgot their bet on this too. With ours. Yes. Are they gonna... In 2011, they didn't show him getting his head cut off. I think you just saw the shadow of it. I think. What's gonna happen here, though? He throws him. He catches him. The two... No, the four-blade style. Those acrobatic skills coming in handy. Little cut on the shoulder. Time to catch him. Oh! There we go. Now you're fucked. What kind of monster are you? That's a creepy face. You about to lose your head? Yep. That was it, right? All that blood coming up. Is he holding his head? That's sick. That's gruesome. That's Hisoka's wrist, right? Oh, never mind. Texture surprise before we know what it is. So he didn't lose his head. Which makes me wonder how they're gonna show Jonas and Killua. "59 hours remaining." Accept.
慎重に考えろよ、レオリオ。もしこの勝負に負けたら、いきなりタワー脱出の残り時間が9時間に減るんだぞ。てめえがそういうこと言うか?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, he's not wrong. You're the one that doesn't want to finish this match off.
それはできない。私はこれ以上何をする気も。
Then shut up.
わかった。ならばもう何も言うまい。もう仲間割れはよそうよ。クラピカの気持ちもわかるしさ。ゴン、お前はどっちの味方だ？みんなの味方だよ。
The side of the group. All of us together.
やれやれ、とんだお仲間だぜ。てめえ。よせ、レオリオ。パーティーってのは一度崩れるととことん崩れていくもんだ。
Yep. Once that first crack shows. I don't remember this. Is he already done? Ah, yep. First one to pass phase 3. And then other people start entering in. Just agree. Make the executive decision. Go out there. "10 hours that he's still alive." Yeah, regardless. Sacrifice 10 hours to secure the win So that's why he has to prove he's unconscious. I mean, he's unconscious or playing dead simultaneously as he admits defeat. The music in these last two episodes have been really good too. I love these instrumentals. Very sinister and creepy and, you know, fits the atmosphere and the vibe of this trick tower. I like it. Suspenseful, intense. Now, he'll know first by feeling the pulse, but he won't react. He'll know, and the other guy won't. So then while you're doing it, you can game plan, what the hell am I going to do? And as we know, he hangs him over the edge. Now I'm just waiting for that to happen. So you lose 10 hours. No, he gains 10 hours. Unconscious, so that means we're wasting time because the round's not over. The hyper-observant Killua. He's playing dead. Yeah, the man you faced didn't rip your heart out, but trust me, I'll do that. I'll tear your heart out like I'll tear your throat out like I'm about to tear that guy's heart out. I forget what happens after this. What his next bet is. Oh yeah. If he's really unconscious or just playing dead. Always building his little house of cards. And then, isn't it Get a Rocker that comes out next? Yep, that's Get a Rocker, right? Two buddies. Yep. Also fucking creepy. I forgot about the earpiece. Did he have that in 2011, the earpiece? Or was it hand signals? I forget. Or a note, or something. Wasn't it something like that? I don't remember the earpiece. I thought it was something like that. Either like a note or a hand signals or something. I'm not exactly sure though.
当然本当に気絶している方に20時間だ。
オーケー、わかったぜ。俺はこのまま気絶したふりを続けるぜ。
Now Leorio is going to take this to his advantage. If you were really unconscious, you would die. But if you were pretending, there's no way you would allow yourself to be killed. I'm about to throw his ass over the edge. Genius. And so we win.
Kurapika との勝負はこっち側の反則負けってことで、トータルそっちの2勝だ。それで文句ないだろ。
But if he fell, that would mean he was already dead, which means that Kurapika should win. So you could argue each side. This Hanzo? Yep. Nope, you're actually third place. And they're playing cards. Yeah, I don't really want to join. I wouldn't really want to join into that game of Go Fish. Nah, you're underestimating Leorio. Yeah, he's smiling. You're screwed. You little pussy. Yeah, like the bug you are, little cockroach. And they're just die already. I forget what her name is. The girl that Leorio goes up against. You ain't worth anything. Yeah, you got no confidence in this man. And he wakes up. Two wins. I don't think we're not getting to see Killua today. Damn. More reason for you to quickly dispatch your opponent next episode. No. Does Leorio go up against next? And because then it all rests on Killua? I forget. Because Gon just said we only need to win one more time. So Leorio goes next. And loses. And then it's all up to Killua. And then they have to rush to escape, and that's when they break through the wall. You actually show your weakness, dude. Let's see how pretty she is here. Of Leorio falling for her. the hair that just poofs out. I forget her name, though. I forget what she did. Why she's in jail, in prison. And Leorio doesn't know what to do, of course. So, looks like I gotta just wait a little bit longer for Killua and Jonas. Building up my appetite for that. And I forgot Leorio goes before Killua, so we'll have to watch him make a fool of himself before witnessing how this 1999 adaptation handles that scene with the heart. I did like how creepy Sedakon is in this adaptation. The difference is subtle, but to me makes the difference between kind of looking like a skinny runway model pretty boy and like a malnourished, pale, lanky freak prisoner serial killer bomber. The beady eyes, the eye bags. I really liked the voice he had in this too. It made it feel much more creepy for 12-year-old boy Gon to be matching up against him. And this episode is obviously a turning point for Gon. I believe it is the first time here with the candle duel against Sedakon where Gon transitions from relying solely on physical strength to applying more keen observations and employing creative strategy. Instead of using his strength or speed and, just hoping it works, he analyzes the situation, comes to a mental conclusion first, then uses his physical abilities to exploit what he already knows is the path forward. Mind over matter. The first time Gon's seeing intelligence triumphing over brute force. In true Togashi fashion, this challenge is less a test of physical resilience and more one of insight. Gon's victory doesn't arise from pure brawn, but from an epiphany and moment of crystalline perception. Two candles, one long, one short, presented under the guise of a fair contest by a serial bomber. The longer candle, of course, seems the obvious pick, yet that very obviousness is Sedakon's trap. Unbeknownst to Gon, unbeknownst to all, both candles are oil-soaked and designed to burn faster, while Sedakon retains two pristine substitutes for himself. Gon's candle begins to melt at a blistering pace. He drops it to the ground, but not in defeat, but knowing it won't blow out. The flame's sheer intensity made it impervious to the drafts of wind all in the chamber. Victory doesn't lie in protecting his own flame, but in extinguishing the other. He actually trusts the tampered with candle to do exactly what Sedakon wants it to do, stay lit and burn fast, and he only uses his breath as a weapon. Blows out Sedakon's candle before he could even comprehend what just happened. Practically disappears from where he was standing, and reappears just inches from Sedakon. At this time in the manga, in both anime adaptations, if you were reading it or if you were watching, we had no vocabulary for enhancers or nen. But it's this blink and you'll miss it dash. It's the kind of raw speed we know will Gon later yield as an enhancer. Opportunity, victory, power, what have you, can all emerge when one transcends prescribed rules. You see that so much in Hunter x Hunter, especially from Gon. It's really cool watching the 1999 series from the beginning while being so far ahead in the 2011 adaptation because you get to see foreshadowing, or you see things from a different perspective, absorb a piece of dialogue different, or watch a certain scene differently. Same is the case with Kurapika versus Majtani. Majtani is also visually quite different across both adaptations, but I like both of them. They both fit and offer a cool, unique look. I think in 1999, he gives off more of that Frankenstein's monster, old black and white horror movie look, while his blue tinted skin actually makes him look like, kind of gives me the vibes of like a Namekian, you know, like a Piccolo. Obviously blue instead of green, but more alien. And his aesthetic fits more in the saturated, more colorful world of the 2011 adaptation. Kurapika refused to finish the fight with Majtani because he said he would not fight someone who had lost the will to fight. He will not let revenge or anger take over humanity. When of course we know, again, we're talking about foreshadowing, when the York New arc comes around, Kurapika almost loses his humanity in the pursuit of vengeance. The principle he was so unwaveringly standing for, he almost completely forsakens on the path towards the dark side before his friends could save him. Kurapika's quest for vengeance flows from a river of clan blood. This match feels all too familiar. But unlike Gon's cerebral candle duel, this is raw, face-to-face confrontation, a test not of cleverness, but of inner resolve. The tattoo is a lie, and he knows it, but it nonetheless triggers Kurapika's deepest wound, the slaughter of his clan and family. Here lies this duel's moral fulcrum. Inside Kurapika, his vow to punish those who desecrated his people wars with his compassion and humanity for the powerless. When he lands the blow that sends Majtani into the ground, the expectation is for the final fatal strike. Yet Kurapika pauses and he walks away. He saw Majtani's eyes, dull with fear rather than defiance or violence, and recognizes him to just be a broken man freak, not evil. To kill him would be to stake his bloodlust on an empty vessel and a fool who ultimately has nothing to do with his pain. In refusing to deliver the coup de grace, Kurapika follows through on his principle. He tells the group he will not take life from one who has already lost the will to fight. That's a moment of great self-control. The rage that fuels his scarlet eyes comes to the surface, but he reins it in, preserving his humanity. Coming back to this, and the foreshadowing I already know and I've just talked about earlier, the vow and the condition system he'll construct around his chains, binding his freedom for the sake of power. This mercy today becomes the seed of his later descent. In York New, his vow to recover every scarlet eye drives him to enforce excruciating restrictions, will self-injury, and will death, with an obsessive focus on torture and death on his enemies. His mercy becomes cruelty directed inward, and his humanity, as we know, a sacrifice made to vengeance. And so, again, just going back and being able to watch this fresh, but in a new adaptation, knowing what we know, such a unique perspective. Next two episodes surely have to have Killua versus Jonas, though. And I don't really care, frankly, about the matchup with Leorio. And maybe that's because I know what comes afterward. So I'm more eager for that. But that's where I'm going to end this brief, short discussion here today. I've already done my analysis in the 2011 adaptation, so not much for me to say any longer, just comparing and contrasting the two adaptations. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already to stay in the loop here. keep the conversation going down in the comments below. Check out my Patreon for early access and exclusive content if you're interested. And having said all that, and with that said, so long, until next time, thank you, have a good one, peace.